At just 51 years old, a true hero emerged, a man whose family had absolutely no connection to politics. Yet within only 2 years, he managed to shake the foundations of some of the biggest political parties. This is the story of Vijay Thalapathy, also known as the Thalapathy. The man whose movies once ruled the box office is now dominating the world of politics as well. His rallies attract hundreds of thousands of people, and through sheer determination alone, he has challenged and shaken Tamil Nadu's two biggest political giants, DMK and ADMK. But the real question is, how? Before him, many movie stars tried to leave the world of cinema and become real-life heroes in politics, but most of them failed. So how did Vijay Thalapathy manage to rise so quickly? How did he become the chief minister of Tamil Nadu in just 2 years? Is this simply the charisma of a cinematic hero, or is there a much deeper political strategy behind it? Is it just another story of populist politics and welfare promises? And can Vijay truly fulfill every promise he made to the people? Most importantly, why are many now saying that Vijay Thalapathy's government could become the weakest administration in Tamil Nadu's political history? So, I'm Nazmul, and you're watching Hidden Files Docs. Today we dive deep into the politics of Tamil Nadu. This past May 4th didn't just reshape the political landscape of West Bengal, it also sparked a major political shift in Tamil Nadu. How did Vijay achieve what many thought was impossible? That's exactly what we're going to explore today. So make sure to watch till the very end, because this video is going to be incredibly interesting. You're about to discover some fascinating truths about South Indian politics. Now, let's begin. Before understanding the political landscape of Tamil Nadu, let's first take a closer look at Vijay himself. Born on June 22, 1974, into a Christian family in Tamil Nadu, his full name is Chandrasekhar Joseph Vijay. Now you might be wondering, where did the name Thalapathy come from? Well, it's actually a title. In the early days of his career, Vijay was called Ilayya Thalapathy, which translates to the young commander. The title became associated with Vijay back in 1994 during the release of his film Razigan. Over time, that nickname evolved, and eventually he became known simply as Thalapathy. Vijay's father was the well-known Tamil film director S.A. Chandrasekhar. And because his father was deeply connected to the film industry, Vijay began acting in his father's movies as a child artist from a very young age. However, Vijay's journey as a lead hero officially began in 1992 with the film Nallaya Thirpu. In the beginning, he faced heavy criticism for his looks. Many people believed he simply didn't have the screen presence or hero material needed to become a star. But slowly, through his unique style, energetic dance moves, powerful action sequences, and iconic mass dialogue delivery, Vijay transformed himself into one of the biggest superstars in the entire Tamil film industry. Films like Ghilli, Pokiri, Thupaki, Mersal, Master, and Leo turned Vijay into far more than just an actor. He became a true mass icon of Tamil Nadu. And slowly, a time came when the release of a Vijay movie felt like a statewide festival. Fans celebrated his films with unmatched passion. Many even worshipped him like a demigod. In simple words, for the people of Tamil Nadu, Vijay is not just a movie star, he is an emotion. And interestingly, through his films, Vijay gradually transformed this larger-than-life hero image into something much bigger, the image of a leader. In the 1990s, Vijay was mainly known as a romantic hero on screen. But after the 2000s, his films began shaping a completely different image, that of an angry young man. As a result, his popularity among the youth skyrocketed. Then after 2012, another major transformation happened. Through his movies, Vijay gradually started portraying himself as a social hero, someone who stood against corruption, injustice, and political failures. In Kathi, Vijay spoke about the struggles of farmers. In Mersal, he highlighted corruption within the healthcare system. In Bihil, he was portrayed as a strong supporter of women in sports. And in Sarkar, he directly addressed issues like election fraud and vote stealing. Step by step, Vijay began presenting himself not just as a cinematic hero, but as a political savior. In many ways, he cleverly used both the power of cinema and his massive popularity as a foundation for his political rise. Every dialogue in Vijay's films felt like a political speech, and his fan clubs worked tirelessly to promote him everywhere. In fact, those fan clubs eventually became Vijay's grassroots-level public network, a powerful foundation that helped him build direct connections with the people. Now the question is, why did so many people vote for Vijay? The answer cannot be explained by heroism alone. To truly understand this, you first need to understand the political history of Tamil Nadu. Now, the influence of cinema actors in Tamil Nadu politics is nothing new. For decades, film stars have played a major role in shaping the state's political landscape. Take M.G. Ramachandran, for example, the founder of AIADMK, who served as the chief minister of Tamil Nadu for 10 consecutive years. Then came Jayalalitha, one of the most famous and powerful leaders in Tamil Nadu's history, who also rose from the world of cinema. Even M. Karunanidhi, the 5-time chief minister of Tamil Nadu, had deep roots connected to the Tamil film industry. Using the massive popularity of these cinema legends as inspiration, Vijay Thalapathy stepped into the world of politics. But his political journey didn't happen overnight. Slowly and strategically, over the years, he built a unique place for himself in the hearts of the people, not just as an actor, but as someone they could eventually trust as a leader. Before officially entering politics, Vijay transformed his fan club into a social welfare organization called Vijay. Through this organization, Vijay regularly helped ordinary people and became deeply involved in social service activities. He even provided scholarships to students who performed well in secondary and higher secondary examinations. As a result, Vijay's popularity among the younger generation skyrocketed almost overnight. And naturally, the major political parties of that time also tried to benefit from Vijay's growing influence and massive public support. In fact, during the 2011 Tamil Nadu Assembly elections, Jayalalitha reportedly used Vijay's massive popularity to her advantage and went on to win the chief minister's seat by a huge margin. But over time, political parties themselves began to fear Vijay's growing influence. And that's when attempts were allegedly made to stop him. There were efforts to damage his public image, controversies around his films, income tax raids, accusations of promoting anti-Hindu narratives. Pressure seemed to come from both the state and central levels. Yet despite all of this, Vijay continued using his movies to repeatedly target corrupt and inefficient governments, making his political messaging even stronger with every film. And finally, on February 2nd, 2024, Vijay Thalapathy officially launched his own political party, Tamil Nadu, widely known by its short form, TVK. It is said that nearly 800,000 people gathered at Vijay's launch event that day, but right from the beginning, Vijay made one thing absolutely clear. His party would not form alliances with DMK, AI, ADMK, BJP, Congress, or any other major political force in Tamil Nadu. He wanted his party to remain completely independent so that every decision could be made on their own terms, with the goal of bringing massive reforms to Tamil Nadu's political system. But the election results turned out to be completely different. Before we get into that, let's first understand how Vijay actually managed to win this election. Vijay understood one thing very clearly. His biggest strength was his fan base, and it was this very fan base that he used as the strongest foundation of his political career. By 2025, TVK had reportedly deployed more than 70,000 booth agents across polling stations throughout Tamil Nadu. The party also formed nearly 69,000 local booth committees. Most importantly, TVK's primary membership reportedly crossed an astonishing 15 million people. Now let's talk about Vijay's strategy. Vijay's strongest influence was among Gen Z voters, and this generation was already struggling with massive unemployment, repeated exam paper leaks, and growing frustration over years of corruption by traditional political parties. For many young people, the future started to look uncertain and hopeless. And that's exactly why Vijay strategically targeted this frustrated Gen Z population. In fact, if you recently looked at Nepal's political landscape, you probably noticed how even a singer managed to rise as a political messiah for the youth. Vijay's rise in Tamil Nadu follows a somewhat similar pattern, where public frustration with traditional politics created space for a new kind of popular icon to emerge as a leader. Over the last 2 years, Thalapathy Vijay became a massive trend across social media. His songs were getting millions of views, while clips from his political rallies were being shared by hundreds of thousands of people online. Even his signature white shirt and khaki pants turned into a viral fashion trend. Shop mannequins were dressed in his style as fans tried to imitate his look. At the same time, Vijay also launched a dedicated IT wing for his party called Voice of Commons, a digital force created to strengthen TVK's online presence and connect directly with the youth. Supporters began opening Instagram Reels pages, YouTube Shorts channels, and WhatsApp communities to spread Vijay's message digitally across Tamil Nadu. Vijay's campaign even used holograms and robots as part of its promotion strategy. One robot, dressed in the party's official outfit, was sent out during campaign events, creating huge buzz among the public. These kinds of unique and modern campaign tactics deeply impressed the people of Tamil Nadu. Now this year, Tamil Nadu had a total voter base of nearly 48.8 million people. Out of them, nearly 1.25 million were first-time voters between the ages of 18 and 19. And this number became a huge factor behind Vijay's victory. To truly understand why, we need to take a closer look at the election results themselves. In this election, TVK, Vijay's party, secured nearly 13.4 million votes. Meanwhile, the second largest party, DMK, received around 11.9 million votes, which means Vijay's party secured nearly 1.5 million more votes directly than its biggest rival. And now, you can probably understand just how massive this political shift really was. Now you can understand just how significant that number of 1.2 million first-time voters really was. And beyond them, there were nearly 11.8 million Gen Z voters between the ages of 20 and 29. Together, they made up almost 20% of the total voter base, and Vijay received overwhelming support from this young generation. This massive youth backing became one of the biggest reasons behind Vijay Thalapathy's rise. And according to many political analysts, one of the key masterminds behind this campaign strategy was PK, Prashant Kishore. Under his guidance, TVK carefully planned and organized its entire political game. Vijay openly opposed the central government's One Nation, One Election proposal. And by doing so, he successfully attracted a large section of Tamil Nadu's anti-BJP voters toward his side, cutting deeply into DMK's traditional vote share. He also demanded that education be shifted back from the concurrent list to the state list, meaning Tamil Nadu would have greater control over its own education system instead of following a centrally controlled curriculum. At the same time, like many regional parties in Tamil Nadu, Vijay strongly emphasized the importance of the Tamil language. He promised to expand the use of Tamil across the education sector and push for greater cultural and linguistic independence within the state. As a result, AIADMK, which had an alliance with the BJP, was increasingly portrayed as a party supporting Hindi imposition, causing a significant cut in its vote share as well. And alongside all these political strategies, Vijay also focused heavily on promises aimed at improving the daily lives and welfare of ordinary people. He promised loan support for farmers and announced plans to create nearly 500,000 new jobs. He also stated that all internships would become paid opportunities. For students pursuing higher education and research, Vijay proposed education loans of up to 2.5 million rupees. At the same time, he focused on Tamil Nadu's large fishing community, a group many people believed had been ignored by governments for decades. For the very first time, Vijay announced plans to introduce an MSP, a minimum support price, for fishermen. He pointed out that during natural disasters, fishermen are often unable to go out to sea, leaving them without any income for long periods. To address this, Vijay promised annual compensation of up to 27,000 rupees for affected fishermen, along with diesel subsidies to reduce their operating costs. He also focused on working-class people connected to transportation and heavy labor, especially those driving trawlers, tractors, and transport vehicles, promising special benefits and financial support for the everyday workers who keep the economy running. Vijay carefully understood one important aspect of Tamil Nadu's culture. Many women in the state have a deep emotional connection with gold, and he strategically used this sentiment to attract women voters. During his campaign, Vijay promised that if his party came to power, women would receive 4 grams of gold and a silk saree during marriage ceremonies. He also announced that newborn babies would be gifted a gold ring. In addition, the head woman of every household would receive a monthly allowance of 2,500 rupees as financial support. Vijay also promised free bus services for women across the entire state. Families would receive 6 free LPG gas cylinders every year, along with up to 200 units of free electricity every month. Widows, saints, and differently abled citizens were promised a monthly allowance of 3,000 rupees. And perhaps most importantly, Vijay announced an insurance scheme worth 2.5 million rupees for every family in Tamil Nadu. Now, whether this kind of welfare-driven politics, something almost every political party practices today, is actually harmful for the country's economy, that's a discussion for another video. But one thing is undeniable. With these promises and campaign strategies, Vijay managed to secure a massive victory by a huge margin. And in this year's election, out of 234 assembly seats, Vijay's party won around 108 seats. But this is exactly where Vijay faced his biggest challenge. To form a government, he needed the magic number of 118 seats, as something TVK failed to achieve on its own. As a result, Vijay was forced to seek support from another political party, and that created a major contradiction. Because when Vijay first launched TVK, he had promised that his party would remain completely independent. Yet after the election, in order to form the government, he eventually entered into an alliance with Congress. The same Congress party that was once aligned with DMK eventually became Vijay's ally. He also received support from parties like CPI, CPI-M, VCK, and IUML. At the same time, several AIA-DMK legislators, a party whose ideology was supposedly completely different from Vijay's TVK, also ended up supporting his government. And because of all these compromises and shifting alliances, many political analysts believe that the government Vijay has formed today stands on very shaky ground. In fact, ever since Vijay came to power, one controversy after another has continued to erupt around his administration. Now the real question is, can Vijay truly fulfill the hopes and expectations he created among Gen Z voters? Or will the pressure from his political allies eventually weaken his leadership, and possibly even bring this government crashing down? Make sure to share your opinion in the comments section. And if you'd like to watch more political analysis videos like this, definitely let me know. I'll try to create more content of this kind in the future. This was actually our very first full-scale political analysis video, where we broke down and analyzed the complete election scenario of an entire state. So, that was the story of Tamil Nadu politics. But in West Bengal, after nearly 15 years in power, the people have almost completely thrown out the Mamata Banerjee government. But why? Why did the people of Bengal suddenly turn away from Mamata Banerjee? To understand the full story in detail, make sure to watch this video. See you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. And this was Nazmul, signing off.